Gonzo on the restart. Weaves his way, fires and scores.
We're going to attack, coming middle, trying to free himself
up, shot, score. Gets around Weed, off the bounce, shot, and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score.
Up top, Druin.
He wants a shot, and he's got it. Wow.
Meanwhile, Arbusto, one-handed shot is up and in. Got a penalty flag down.
Skip pass sets up Gabord, and it's time to pluck a chicken.
Got a good one-handed scoop up.
Roy, and then he lights the lamp. Lowers that left shoulder and fires up the Cougar fans. Look at this.
Nice play.
Fake shot by Brunzik, and then he drills it on his way to the ground.
Chase, extra feed, shot,
Score! Game over! Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Exeter. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you, getting set for the 2025 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I Semifinals. First of two Final Four affairs here at Bill Ball Stadium. Gorgeous weather, two very talented teams in a rematch from last year's Division I state championship game. Bishop Guertin, led by first-year head coach Brian Cameron, took over for his father, who won 13 state championships with the Cardinals, inherits a four-time champion, and guided them to a 13-5 regular season record. All 5 of those losses were against out-of-state competition. BG has not lost against an in-state opponent since 2019. Meanwhile, Bedford, also under a new head coach, Steve Gaudreau, made his way over from Pinkerton and also guided Bedford to a 13-5 record. Both teams coming off big wins in the quarterfinals. BG 19-7 winners over Concord, while the Bulldogs had no trouble with Londonderry, 21-7 the final there. A lot of talent, Roger. These two teams obviously circle the game on the calendar. They met at midseason back on May the 1st, about 6 weeks ago. That was a win for Bishop Guertin at Bedford. 17-11 was the final score there. So in the 6 weeks since, the question is, has Bedford improved enough to close that gap? And I suppose we begin there. Cardinals widely seen tonight as the favorite against Bedford.
Yeah, for sure. And I honestly thought that game back on May 1st was going to be a lot tighter than it was. And as it turned out, the Cardinals, put up some points in that, 17-11. But this has been a Bedford team that's kind of been a little bit hard to peg sometimes. And it is all going to start with their defense. So that'll be some of the points that we talk about here as we near the first face-off. But always circled on the calendar during the year, and here we are again.
Yeah, predictable in a lot of ways. These two teams have had sustained success. We know about Bishop Guertin, 4-time champions, looking for number 14 in program history. Bedford, a lot of success at the D2 level. You were part of that staff as the associate head coach about a decade ago. 3 straight wins in Division II, a win streak of about 69 straight games.
Yeah.
Was on the radar of many across the country. Jumped up to Division I and finally broke through to the championship round last year under Coach Drew Bordeaux.
Yeah, and very close. Got there, to the surprise of many, but they played hard last year, and, that coaching staff went on to the collegiate level almost in its entirety, with the exception of Ryan McDonough, who stayed behind. These two teams at this level, at this point in time, just battle it out, and looking forward to a good battle here today. In both games, all 4 teams.
Let's send things down to the field for the national anthem.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Bedford and BG. Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe. And a few thousand on hand already. Folks continuing to file in. A little bit of an early start here, 5 o'clock Eastern time, but a gorgeous weather scenario here. 80 degrees, the sun is out. That's a big change from the rain and wet conditions we have become accustomed to as of late up here in the Granite State. So both teams ready to give it their all as they head on to this turf field here at Bill Ball Stadium. Roger, some things to watch for. Give us a couple of keys both ways.
Yeah, listen, Bedford got to clean up the clearing game. It's been their Achilles heel all season long. Ethan Kahn has got to start controlling things out there and getting the ball upfield quickly. They need to find a way to neutralize. They're not going to overpower Paulo Vasquez at the faceoff circle, but they need to find a way to neutralize his dominance there and try to stop Cam Hayden, the big Penn State midfielder that's going to be moving on. Bishop Guertin, they need to find a way to stop Bennett Matthews and Brody Helt. If they are on like they were in that Londonderry game, scoring 11 goals out of the 21 that Bedford scored, they are going to be very difficult to stop. And they need good goaltending. Feliciano's got to step up because if those guys are on and their shots are going to the right spots, he's going to need to step up.
The officials, some of the best in the business: Sean Murphy, Shane Searles, Kerry Witten, and Michael Peterson. Paulo Vasquez wins the opening faceoff for Bishop Guertin. One of the best, if not the best, faceoff man statewide, getting the Cardinals the opening possession. BG going to work right to left in this first quarter. They're in their home yellows with the green shorts and white lettering. Bedford on defense here in their road blacks with the red lettering and white trim. Patience out of the gate is Bedford. Continuing to talk defensively. BG looks for a little two-man game up top. Swung now near side. And now the action behind the cage. Skip pass, dodge, shot, and score. Well, he just called his name. That's Cam Hayden, the junior on his way to Penn State in a couple of years. Makes it 1-0 Cardinals.
Yeah, they need to stop that kid because he is just so dominant out there. Like we saw in that Londonderry game a few weeks ago. Bedford comes out in kind of a semi-zone, but a big face dodge there. Gets it done for Cam because he gets the pass across field, and there it is. He's just point blank, and he's just not going to stop that shot.
Got inside of the defender, Sean McGarry. And then not much Ethan Kahn could do from point-blank range. Meanwhile, a turnover. BG comes back to win the face-off, but the pass is off target, ends up out of bounds. So the Bulldogs now will test their clearing abilities against this vaunted BG ride. Up the middle. This is Bulldogs standout Bennett Matthews. He's a junior. He's committed to Duke. He's got Bedford into the attack zone here for the first time with just over a minute gone by.
Yeah, and I hope Bennett has had a good meal and has got lots of energy because he's already been out there on defense. He's out there on the face-off, and now he's out there doing the punt clear from the very low end of the defensive side of the field. So there it is.
Going to set up his classmate Brody Helton, who fires wide. It is backed up by the Bulldogs and will stay with Bedford.
Now, strangely enough, Brody missed his first 5 shots in that Londonderry game the other night before he hit pay dirt, and then he was on fire from that point on, Nick.
Bulldogs rolled on their home field by a final score of 21-7. Shot off the post. The bell is rung. The ball is up for grabs. John Paul Dunsmore in the mix for BG. A whistle is going to secure it for the Cardinals. Bulldogs relax a little bit on the ride. That allows an easy clear for the Cardinals as they look to build on this 1-0 lead with now 2 minutes in. Crowd continuing to file in under the sunshine here on the Seacoast. First of 2 semifinals in Division 1 tonight. Top seed Pinkerton will take on host Exeter. Coming up at 7:15, we'll have coverage right here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Yeah, they had a good game against Dover the other night as well, Nick. Pinkerton is reaching their peak.
Here's Michael Ponto on a bounce. Not sure if Kahn got a piece of that or not. It stays with the Cardinals, and then the lamp is lit by Hudson Schmidt, the junior. Nice off-ball cut down the alley there. Pass on time and on target. And BG cashes in for the second time. It's 2-0 Cardinals.
Yeah, just a mishap there with a shot that went errant. And I thought he had stepped in the crease there, but they recover quickly, and a good pass there from Gary.
So Hudson Schmidt seemingly has gotten better as the season has gone on. He's heard from very early, 2-0 BG. And the Cardinals are going to go 3 for 3 at the face-off X.
Yeah, they tried to neutralize him a little bit there and got a scrum started, but BG takes the ball away.
Back on the attack. Cardinals come in winners of 4 straight. They closed out the regular season calendar with 3 straight wins. And then blew out Concord in the quarterfinals in the 2-7 matchup. That final was 19-7. Behind the cage again. Ponto, swing it up top. Schmidt to his left, thinking shot, will fire and score.
Yeah, he just overpowers here. Dubois.
Bo Dubois, one of several college commits for Bishop Guertin, and that is going to lead to a timeout. Bedford wants to talk it over as the Bulldogs fall into a 3-0 hole just 3.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they have to do it. Really have to do it to make that steamroller just kind of slow down a little bit there. But I think I got the wrong call on that. I think it was...
I think you were right, actually. It was Bo Dubois.
Yeah, the bench just called up and said it was 24, but I think I got it right.
I thought it was number 20.
Yeah,
we'll get a look at the replay if we can, but either way, it's 3-0 Cardinals. 3 different goal scorers, if we are correct, in Hayden, Schmidt, and Dubois.
So you got better eyes than I do here, Nick.
Tough to tell up here with the white lettering on the yellow jersey color.
Turns here.
That's
20.
number 20.
It is 20, yep. So we got the call right, so it's going to be Dubois on that.
Dubois, a senior, committed to Lemoyne. One of 2 future Lemoyne players. Owen King, also a commit there, his classmate. And again, all in all, another BG team loaded with NCAA talent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the latest count. And of course, Bedford has 3 of their own. Bennett Matthews, we mentioned, committed to Duke. Brody Helton on his way to Rutgers in a couple of seasons. And next year, Evan Capello will play just south of the border at Bentley University.
That's correct. Yeah, they're going to give it to Bedford on this. All right. So there is 1 violation.
And the first win for Dylan Riccio, the sophomore for Bedford, after BG captured the first 3 faceoffs. Now the Bulldogs look to get on the board, just their second possession here, nearly 4 minutes into the contest. From behind the net, little shove, and now the ball is out. It's going to roll all the way to midfield, and it's turned over to BG. It's got the home sideline fired up. Cardinals look to run.
As they always do.
The long pole, Tyler McLeod handling now. Give it over to DuBois, and here come the Cardinals again.
I will give it to Bedford on that. That is what they need to start doing on offense, is they need to start moving bodies, and I don't mind seeing Helton in an invert like that and moving. Just a trip and a fall and, unforced turnover.
Took a pretty good shove from behind. It's the Cardinal defense coming out physical. Meanwhile, DuBois denied by Kahn on an upstairs save. Second stop for the Bedford junior. Now Kahn asked to help out here with the clear. He's going to leave the cage.
He has to. This is what he has to do. He has to be aggressive.
He's going to fire a rainbow pass. That may be a shot attempt.
That was.
Feliciano is out of the cage as the ball rolls wide and out of play.
Let's see what Bedford does here on their ride. If they press or if they drop in.
Seemed like they dropped on the previous attempt, right?
They're going to pressure down low here with Capello.
He's got a long pass, and this one's picked off. Intercepted by Luke Purnell. Bedford trying to push the issue with Capello. He's going to tiptoe, draw a slide, take a shot. Right on that left shoulder that forces him out to the wing, and Bedford's going to reset.
This is what smart lacrosse is all about, not forcing the issue. He was double-teamed there. Capello did the right thing. Pull it out. Live another day.
Now Matthews wants a one-on-one. McLeod, the defender, trying to muscle his way to a bouncing shot that went off target. But again, it's backed up by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, good pressure there. Foley got in his grill late.
Approaching the midway point first quarter. 3 early goals for BG of the Cardinals out in front 3-0. This one is turned over. Skip pass out of the range of the intended target, John Purnell. And there's that defensive pressure from the Cardinals making a difference again.
Exactly. So they're going to drop ride now. They're going to pressure the sideline here. Schmidt.
Long pass and tipped. They're back onto the ground. Bedford's long pole, Trevor Abendroth, is there. Abendroth, the junior defender, secures for Bedford.
They need a good patient possession here. A little bit nervous. They looked the same way they did in the finals last year. A little bit nervous at the beginning. Some unforced turnovers, if you recall.
Fell behind early, but
yeah,
eventually clawed their way back to tie the game in the second half before the Cardinals ultimately prevailed for their 4th straight state championship.
So keep your eye on Helton with the top dodge and watch Matthews.
Helton to his left, didn't get it off clean. Good defensive effort. Not sure if it was Tyler McLeod who got a piece of that or not, but either way, a disruptive play defensively for BG.
Yeah, I think you're right. You got a good late trail check on him.
Little 2-man action now. Purnell coming off a number of screens. Fires on the run and scores it top shelf. Luke Purnell, the senior, one of the co-captains for Bedford, doing what captains do, coming up big in a tough spot. Bedford on the board. It's 3-1 BG.
Yeah, Luke was quiet in that game against Londonderry in the quarterfinals. He only had 1 goal, but this is a goal scorer's goal. He drops his hands, goes belt line, and picks top corner, far side. And that's a good shot by him, placing it above Feliciano.
Got the step on the defender, Andreas Steinbruck.
Oh, threw it out of bounds. Oh.
This one is kept alive.
Hustle.
Good play, good concentration. Noah Guerrara, senior, committed to Florida Tech, able to secure the possession for the Cardinals, and now Bishop Guertin back on the attack, hoping to equal their largest lead from earlier. Coming up at 5 minutes remaining, first quarter. Bedford continuing to talk defensively. Cardinals try their luck behind the cage. A little give and go.
Bedford stays in zone again.
To the wing now, Sean McGarry. Going to cycle it to his right. Everybody with a touch here on the perimeter. Round and round it goes. This one out in front, deflected by the defense. Now a foot race. Losing his stick in the process is Riccio. And ultimately BG's going to keep it right here. Jeremy Warren gets to the ground ball. Now Warren hustles to the sideline as Coach Brian Cameron shuffles the deck a bit personnel-wise. BG in no hurry. We've seen these long possessions before, Roger, part of the strategy.
Yeah, and, Bedford scores. They get possession, and now they just keep the ball away from Bedford, killing any type of run or any type of momentum that the Bulldogs might be able to build. Watch this. Wow.
Shot there. Whizzes over the head of Kahn and out of play. Pretty good look there, though, for DuBois, seeking his second goal here in the first quarter.
Yeah, good shot.
Inside of 4 minutes. 3-1 Cardinals. DuBois going to spin, sets up McGarry low, but Kahn read it the whole way. The save comes below the knee. It's his third stop, and now Bedford looks to clear. Kahn has looked pretty sharp despite giving up those 3 early goals. This one, though, is on the ground. Helton in the mix for Bedford. Takes a knee-high bounce. And now a spin move by Cardinal sophomore Liam Shannon. And we have a whistle. And I believe a timeout was called by Bedford. If so, that's their second.
That's got to be a timeout because they were close to that failure to advance timer.
So a heads-up play by Coach Gaudreau, but Bedford no longer with any timeouts to use before halftime.
No, and thankfully it's not the second half, but this is one of my pet peeves with Ethan, okay? If he's going to move up the field on the clear like he did in the prior clear where they were successful, that is what needs to happen. You need to press the ride from the opponent to get things moving. He stood where he made the save, literally did not move his feet when he passed that ball, and it was deflected. And these are the things the youngster needs to start to get, into the habit of learning and take control out there. That is, like I said at the beginning of the game, that's been their Achilles heel all season long. And if they can start creating situations where transition is going to develop upfield, not down in their end of the box, that's when they're going to start seeing success because they are athletic and they can move the ball with BG trailing behind them and pestering them. But it has to start down low with that clear. It just does.
Coach Gaudreau, I'm sure, conveying a similar message there in the huddle as Bedford gets set to return to the field as they look to clear here. Cardinals going to set up the ride. 3.5 to go, first quarter. First 3 goals went BG's way. Bedford's Luke Purnell with an answer a moment ago.
Look what the defense is here. They got 3 guys covering Bennett Matthews.
Matthews goes over the top with a pass. He's got a man open. That's Parker Gupta.
In.
And it's going to lead to a charge to the cage. Big collision as John Purnell went down. The flags fly, and we have our first penalty of the afternoon.
45.
That's Bishop Guertin's Elijah Zeman.
Oh, just with a push.
Sophomore guilty, no argument as he trots to the penalty box. Should be a 30-second penalty.
Exactly.
And again, the first EMO for either team. Actually draws a smile from Coach Gaudreau's face there. His player is okay, and he loves the fact his team can cut the lead in half here with an extra man.
Well, I think he was looking for a minute, maybe a little more there, but clearly a push. Gary Whitten on the call.
Bedford's going to go around the horn here. 15 remaining on the EMO. 2 men behind the cage. Gupta looks for a cutter. It's intercepted. Boy, great read there. That's Steinbruick. Able to reach up with his long pole and snatch that one out of the sky. Cardinals kill off the penalty, and we're back to even strength with inside of 3 minutes to go. And now a timeout is called by Coach Cameron.
Oh, wow. Well, good thing he did because that was out of bounds on that clear by Feliciano.
Yeah, that long pass would have ended up out of play, but the timeout comes first. That's BG's first charged timeout.
I've seen a lot of games this year, probably more than I've ever seen in my entire adult life.
It's quite a statement.
It is. And I saw a lot of games. I just did, and enjoyed every minute of it. But I don't think I saw a single game where 3 timeouts were called in the first quarter.
Right.
Never mind the first half.
Right. So BG is left with 1. Bedford is out of timeouts, as we mentioned. This comes with 2:44 to go in the first quarter. Both teams vying for a trip to Saturday night's championship game. We'll have it under the lights here in Exeter. Going to be a busy day for us in the media. We're looking forward to it. We'll be covering the D2 finale over at Bedford High earlier in the afternoon, and then again, the D1, the crown jewel, so to speak, of the Saturday schedule, comes your way at 7 o'clock Eastern.
I got to tell you, I'm so excited that we're doing at least 2 games for the finals this year. A couple years ago, we did all 3 right here at Bilbao Stadium, and it was one of the best days of lacrosse that I think New Hampshire has probably ever seen in high school lacrosse. But, to be able to do those 2 games with those eventual 4 teams out of the 8 that are remaining here is great. And not to take anything away from D3. They'll be up in Laconia doing their thing.
Meanwhile, out of the timeout, put it in the stick of Cam Hayden and let him go to work as he crosses midfield with no issue. Hayden, one of the 3 goals already for BG. Hayden, Schmidt, and Dubois. Purnell lit the lamp for Bedford. Luke Purnell.
How many did Hayden have in that Londonderry game a couple weeks ago?
Quite a few.
5, 6?
5 or 6 sounds right. He's been a scoring machine all season. Meanwhile, this shot from Dubois is wide, a low offering that ends up out of play. It's backed up by the Cardinals.
Again, Bulldogs staying in a tight zone. They're going to play behind. But they need to piston in and out a little quicker, I think, for my liking.
Meanwhile, Ponto, plenty of space on a step-down shot there. Off target. Meanwhile, Kahn trying to direct traffic for Bedford from the cage. Hoping the defense can prevent a breakdown.
There it is.
Yeah, good play. That's Abendroth again. Pays the price. Up ahead for Dylan Riccio. Picks it up off the roll. Sharp pass in the middle. Bedford has numbers, and they're going to cash in. Shot and score for the Bulldogs, Teddy Lapointe. Freshman has gotten more and more playing time as the year has gone on. He shows you what he can do in transition there. Back-to-back goals for Bedford. It's 3-2.
Teddy Lapointe has been just an absolute spark plug for the Bulldogs this last half of the season. He has played face-off. He has played long pole. He has played defensive in the pit. He had played in the 5 spot on man down. This guy, he's out there with a long pole right now. Look at this. Take him out there and put him on a face-off after scoring a goal. Way to go, Steve.
I was about to say, we saw him take several draws against Pinkerton a couple of weeks ago in the regular season finale. He's going to lose the face-off here. No shame in that. Paulo Vasquez, one of the best in the biz. And the senior has now won 4 of 5 early on at X for BG.
Sure has. And, hey, the best thing about Teddy Lapointe, he's a freshman.
Yeah.
He's a freshman. And, man, if he gains some size and some bulk in the offseason, he is going to be a force for Bedford.
Meanwhile, Cardinals, after surrendering 2 straight goals, look to rebuild the lead here. Out in front 3-2 as we head towards the final minute, first quarter.
Yeah, one thing, go ahead, Nick.
No, you go.
The one thing I don't like about their zone right now is they're leaving the wings a little bit too much open, whether it be up top or down on the sides.
Big hit, Brody Helton. Just laid the wood there on Schmidt.
There it is. There's
Ball's
the clear.
out, and here come the Bulldogs again. With numbers, it's a 4-on-3. Matthews, a jump shot. He goes flying after that bouncer released. A few words are exchanged between Matthews and Hayden. In the end, Bedford ready for the restart behind the net.
Yeah, good clear there by Ethan Connie. Was up and out of the cage quickly.
Final 40 seconds first quarter. Bulldogs looking to tie the game. John Purnell trying to muscle near side. The ball comes out. Being hacked at and harassed here. That's the long pole defender. Making a difference for BG. Zeman after taking an early penalty. Making a good play there. Meanwhile, Feliciano, a long outlet pass. He's got a man at midfield. It's McLeod, the long pole. Up ahead for Schmidt. Schmidt in the middle. Finds a man on the wing. Shot swallowed up. The save comes upstairs by Kahn. We're down to the final 10 seconds. Bedford trying to push out of their own end. Here comes Helton across midfield. Helton is double teamed. Split dodge. Determined to get to the cage. Loses it. The bouncer goes wide. A flag is thrown. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
I think we're going to get a hold here on Helton. Not sure who the number from the Cards is going to be, but.
So pick your poison. Helton was surrounded by yellow jerseys. A lot of contact. It looks like it's Dubois. Second BG penalty will begin on the other side of the break. Second quarter next. Things heating up already here in Exeter. 3-2 BG out in front of Bedford after 1. You are watching the 2025 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I Semifinals. Here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, we're broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
12 minutes in, it's a one-goal game. Bishop Guertin out in front of Bedford 3-2 here in Exeter. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire coverage of the 2025 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I Semifinals. First of two semifinal games coming your way tonight. We're broadcasting, of course, in conjunction with the NFHS Network. BG, the defending champs, 4 years in a row, hoping to make it 5 straight. They have not lost an in-state game since 2019. And they jumped out early, 3-0, with 3 goals coming in the first 3.5 minutes. Cam Hayden, Hudson Schmidt, and Bo Dubois. You know, this one sent back Bedford's way. Bulldogs trying to keep it inbounds. John Purnell running out of room, and it's turned over. Bedford finished the quarter strong. Kept BG off the board for the final 8:20 and added 2 goals of their own, Luke Purnell and the freshman Teddy LaPointe. So it's a 1-goal game as the teams switch ends, underway now here in this second quarter.
So
Cardinals are shorthanded here, Roger, for the next 20-plus seconds.
Exactly. Just took the words right out of my mouth. They failed EMO for Bedford. They could have tied this game, but just a little wonky there with that cross-field pass.
Bulldogs now 0 for 2 on the EMO as the Cardinals officially are back to even strength. Meanwhile, BG has had the time of possession advantage due to the performance of Paulo Vasquez at X and also the nature of this very patient attack. Here's a shot from up top, and Kahn's got his 5th save. No problem tracking that one upstairs. The outlet pass frees up Matthews, who does the rest. He's across midfield. The junior on his way to Duke is going to step down and let loose a bullet. Flies a little bit high and out of play, but it's backed up again by the Bulldogs.
Hey, if that's going to be the way you're going to see success in clearing the ball, giving it to Brody or giving it to Bennett, then, truck on. I mean, just get it out of your zone.
Quite a luxury to have 2 of those guys, not just outstanding lacrosse players, but outstanding football players as well.
Indeed. Just overall good athletes.
Both already committed to keep their lacrosse careers going at the NCAA level. We mentioned Matthews going to join up with Duke in a couple of seasons. Helton on his way to Rutgers. Meanwhile, a little start and stop. There's 3 Bulldogs now behind the cage. As Bedford looks for spacing, John Purnell going to help out. And now Matthews has a one-on-one. Up top against McLeod. Draws a slide. There's a man open. A shot comes from one knee. Ends up a little bit wide there from Evan Capello. It's backed up by Helton. Trying to split dodge there, and a flag flies. Helton's shot is denied by Feliciano. That's his first save, and now we do have a penalty. Meanwhile, Helton is still down.
Yeah, he's holding his knee, too.
Not a good sign here. The junior in some pain. His teammates show concern. Still no trainer on the field. Meanwhile, the 3rd Bishop Guertin penalty is on the way. And it's the 2nd against Hunter Dwaney. Took a slash earlier.
Yeah, so Feliciano comes up with 2 back-to-back saves at critical points in that possession.
Yeah, you're right. 2 saves early for Feliciano.
Yeah.
5 for his counterpart, Kahn, so far. What's the official call here, Roger?
I think it's a slash going to be on Duaney. And
so deja vu for Duaney.
Yeah. Good thing to see Helton come back out.
And stay on the field here. So Bedford with the third EMO. Failed to cash in earlier. They're going to get a shot here from a tough angle. It's sent back by Feliciano.
Bulldogs have got to give the help here. A good transition.
Purnell's got a man open up top. Step down shot and score for John Purnell. It's got the Bedford fans who have made the half-hour journey all fired up in the crowd. 3-3, 3 straight now for Bedford.
This is why you have to pursue on man up when you have an errant play and the ball goes into the corner. There was some hesitation here by Bedford to give help down there for Purnell. And they finally get the help, and they find the opening in the backside of the offensive zone.
Yeah, so, good vision on the assist, right?
Indeed.
Meanwhile, Vasquez battling, trying to secure the face-off win. And that ball just elusive. It continues to bounce freely, and ultimately it is scooped up by the Fogo. I believe, Roger, correct me if I'm wrong, but Vasquez has now won every draw but one so far in this first half.
Exactly, and that was just simply, he wasn't a violation, but he got called for a hold on that one that the Bedford team got the face-off.
3-3 here. Meanwhile, a bit of a drought here, Roger. Nearly a full quarter, 12 minutes of game action since the last BG goal.
Yeah, they were at 8:28 mark of the first.
Hayden, shot denied. Kahn continues to stay hot in the pipes. Ball loose on the far wing, and we've got a pig pile. Anybody's guess. Bodies tumbling, still rolling loose, and Bedford does get to it. That's the long pole, Will Frongillo.
Leg it. This is what they need to do. Leg it and roll. Roll back, kid.
Dylan Riccio has got two in the area, trying to lead Helton with a pass there, but it's off target and turned over at midfield. Now the Cardinals with numbers. Owen King finds a trailer. The sweep it left side, and the shot from McGarry is wide.
Oh, he's going to give it to Bedford.
The Kahn out of the cage made the difference.
Yeah, I didn't think he was closest to the ball, but yeah.
Good effort. Heads up play by the junior. Matthews over midfield on the clear. Bedford wants their first lead as they look to keep this run alive. 3 unanswered goals. Now going to stop with Helton and Matthews here. A little two-man game on the wing developing.
Big difference in the Bulldogs, the way they're pursuing this second quarter already.
Matthews, that shot won't get through.
The energy is just much higher.
And the crowd feeding into it a bit as well. Of course, both fan bases have turned out as expected. There's a large student section and a color-coded theme as well. A lot of black and red on the Bedford
Helton
side.
in.
Look out, Helton. Airborne, he cashes in. And again takes a thump after the release. Bedford rolling right now. 4 straight. They have erased the 3-goal gap and take their first lead here as we approach the midway point second quarter.
Again, I'll say it again. Energy, run, make this team run, get them out of position, get the ball into the guys that have the skills, and just run it. Run it and do what you do well. And they haven't been doing that. A lot of consistency.
Vasquez, another win for the Cardinals. It's been successful now. Won 7 of the 8 at X. And let's see if this Cardinal attack can get out of their funk here. Been nearly 14 minutes since their last goal.
One of the things we learned about BG a few games back was when the 7-6 outcome of that Exeter game. Exeter was in zone for most of that game, and BG had trouble with it. And not that this game is far from over, but this zone is helping the Bulldogs right now.
Step down shot from Ponto is well wide. King gets set for the restart out of the corner.
You've got to have some really good sharpshooters from the outside, and you've got to find some seams. BG was having some success in the first quarter there with cutters coming down from the top. See if they can capitalize on some of that here.
Meanwhile, the communication has been pretty solid for Bedford defensively. Kahn has been outstanding in this first half. After surrendering the first 3 goals, he's come up with half a dozen saves.
Exactly. But you're seeing exactly what the zone forces. It forces a lot of outside shots. Not a lot of cutting going on with the Cardinals right now. They're trying to just find that seam and a good open shot.
Hayden on the wing, examining. Point man is Dubois. Now behind the cage, it goes to King. As the Cardinals continue to test the fences. Hayden, future Penn State star, a little shake and bake, draws a slide up top. Extra pass, 2 behind the cage, far side pull, power move nice and play. Score. Wow. Able to absorb the check and then score from a tough angle. That's Michael Ponto, the senior, on his way to RPI, checks in for the first time to tie the game at 4.
Wow, and you're right. That was just a power move. He just bumps in, rolls, little, not quite the question mark you'd see from an attackman, but he just does the nice little roll inside, finds it. Good for Michael.
Of course, he was one of the standout stars in last year's state championship game.
Five games.
Yeah, scored 5 goals.
5 goals, yeah.
In that victory for BG over Bedford. This one, as we mentioned, a rematch from last year's title affair. The winner goes on to the championship round on Saturday to face the winner of Pinkerton and Exeter. That game comes your way tonight at 7:15 Eastern. Another win for Vasquez. Now the Cardinals look to retake the lead here as we move toward the 5-minute mark before halftime. King with a touch. Dubois on the wing, wants a little one-on-one. Instead sets up a tough shot for Hayden, let it loose despite the presence of the Bedford defender, Colby Boyd.
Oh, they're going to give it to Bedford here.
A little delayed call, but
yeah.
Apparently Frongillo in the right place there for Bedford to secure the possession.
Yeah, they bring Helton down low. Watch for the deep punt-type clear.
Well, they're just going to clear it out here.
Yeah. Oh.
Pass tipped at midfield. Good play by Ponto to break it up, but Matthews is there for Bedford. Now the Bulldog Jr. looking to trigger the offense here as he looks to give his team the lead. Going to spin left, fire. Another bullet-type shot that ends up wide, but will stay at this end with Bedford.
Yeah, he needs to dial in. He hasn't hit the cage yet on a shot, I don't believe. Everything he's shot today has gone wide or
has not scored, but has helped out certainly in the clear.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, and he's going to feed a man. It's Capello who was open but took his eye off the ball. Ends up on the turf, and it's scooped up by BG's Dubois. Now Dubois, a one-man clearing show of his own. Out-hustles everyone to midfield. Dubois trying to trigger a break. Cardinals now decide to slow it down as J.P. Dunsmore trots to his left. Coach Cameron wants to get the right personnel on the field here as we move inside of 4 minutes to go until halftime. Jack Redfern seeing some action here, given plenty of room up top. Redfern, the freshman, comes from a lacrosse family, as we know. Going to cycle it near side for Hayden. He got the scoring started way back in the opening minute of the game.
You got to put a body on him.
Going to draw our attention, sets up Redfern, but no shooting angle there. Back up top eventually to Redfern, again thinking about it. Now King, near side, bodied up by Boyd. Up top Hayden, look out. Shot and score from 15 meters out. Hayden second, he's fired up. The Cardinals are back in front, 5-4.
Yeah, watch for him to start playing that center position at midfield too. He's been parked over here on the goalie's left on that wing, hoping that he can get open and get creep in a little bit closer, maybe within that 12 to 10-yard range. But he has not seen success. He is very dominant in that middle slot, as we know from that Londonderry game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a win for Dylan Riccio, just a second face-off win for Bedford. He comes down and scores it. Boy, right down the alley. Little confusion defensively for Bishop Guertin in transition. And the Bedford sophomore, Dylan Riccio, takes advantage to tie the game at 5.
Well, there you go. That's a momentum changer if they can capitalize on it. Feliciano got a good look at that too, and it was just a really good bounce shot to his weak side.
Well placed. So Bedford, after surrendering 2 straight, come up with a goal. And now Vasquez perhaps looking to return the favor after a win for BG. Sets up a shot on the wing. That one ends up wide.
Hits a body.
Offered by King. It stays in play, and now we have a flag.
Interference. Wave it off.
Yeah, they're going to pick it up. So Bedford remains penalty free. We've seen 3 Cardinal penalties in this first half.
Yeah. Bedford couldn't do a thing with them, though.
0 for 3 on the EMO. Final 3 minutes, first half. Coming up at halftime, stats, highlights, analysis, full recap, and a preview of Pinkerton and Exeter, the other semifinal, coming your way later tonight. That's all coming up at halftime. BG looking to retake the lead on a good pass out in front, but the shot ends up wide. Perfect setup. The freshman Redfern took a hit after the release.
Yeah, good pass by Ponto, too, inside.
Ponto going to stay behind the cage. The action moves to the near wing as King draws attention. 2 passes later, it ends up in the middle. Dubois hits the pipe. Ball's going to ricochet out of bounds, but stay with the Cardinals. It's the second shot from BG that has hit iron in this first half.
And they got lucky on this because this was a great cut and feed by the Cardinals.
We approach 2 minutes. Another step down. That one sails high. That one offered up there by McGarry. 5-5 here. BG jumped out to a hot start. 3-0, 3.5 minutes in. Bedford then came up with 4 unanswered goals, bridging the first and second quarters. Cardinals took the lead very briefly, 5-4. Ricchio's goal a moment ago for Bedford brings us to where we are, 5-5. With now the final 100 seconds set to play out before the break. Hayden tests things on the far side with McGarry. Back to Hayden.
Look where he is again.
Yeah.
Going to try and work to Hayden in this center spot. Little different set here. They're in a 1-4 now.
Tough angle shot. Low to high there. Flies again out of play. And we'll stay at this end with the Cardinals.
So this 1-4 with 2 guys in the middle essentially is going to try and keep the inner part of this zone busy and hopefully isolate Cam Hayden up at the top because they'll forget about him. They'll be so concerned about the guys in the middle. They're not in 1-4 now, but maybe they morph into that. Yep, they will. Yep, right into it.
Hayden on the move, off ball, near the cage. BG goes behind the net with the ball. And now back up top for Dubois. Final minute, first half. It's been fun so far. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Shot there, I think Kahn got a piece,
Yeah, I think so.
If so, that's number 7 in terms of his save total. This one tipped up ahead. Cardinals have it. Ponto behind the net, looks for an open man. Hayden off the shot fake, and then a back-footed attempt. Flies high. Again, the action stays down at this end.
Now, I like the recovery that Dylan Riccio made there and kind of back-ended into Hayden. Oh, you got a timeout here by BG?
Yep.
Must be, yeah. But, he backed into the dodging Hayden, almost turned him sideways, and that was just enough to see that shot whistle over the top of the net by Hayden.
2 goals for Hayden in this first half. He's led all scorers. Bedford has seen contributions from 5 different scores.
Yeah.
It's been balanced both ways, really. And a little bit of a tale of 2 strategies. We've seen the Cardinals have the major advantage at the face-off X. They've parlayed that into a time of possession advantage, whereas Bedford scored a couple of transition goals very quickly.
Transition goals, which is not something that we've said a lot about, or I've seen a lot about with them. Because when they're losing face-offs, they're usually backtracking. But I like what I'm seeing on the Bedford Bulldogs side. There's a little bit more energy. One of the advantages I see specifically with this team and their defense is this zone setup allows them to kind of conserve a little bit more of their energy when they're not playing man-to-man and they're, traversing left and right and pivoting and that sort of thing. You definitely put out more energy when you're doing that. And because of the type of defense, that they have, defensemen, that is, the players, this is going to be to their advantage. And they are playing it well right now.
Is that zone game plan specific for Bishop Guertin?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see if the Bulldog defense can hold up here for the final 38 seconds. Cardinals hoping to take the lead with them into the halftime locker room.
Yeah, Bedford has gone in and out of zone on occasion during the season, but this has been nothing but zone. And with the film or the scout that they've had on the teams that have had success against Bedford or BG, that's been the key point on defense.
Cardinals thinking last shot here.
For sure.
Hayden walking his way towards the top here. Clock inside of 20 seconds. Bulldogs await in the zone. Hayden fakes the handoff.
Nope, not going to fool them.
And the ball is out. Poked away by Matthews. Down to 5 seconds. Ponto step down, shot and score, and BG's going to take the lead. Boy, that one was from nearly 20 yards out. A downtown bomb from Michael Ponto, his second goal. And right now, that's the difference maker. 2 seconds remaining. BG back out in front, 6-5.
You cannot let up, whether you're one of the other 9 players on that field or you're the goaltender. Clearly, with 5 seconds left, 3 seconds was enough for them to score.
Tough one to track, perhaps, for Con?
Not sure.
Either way, BG is going to end the first half with an exclamation point. They cash in coming out of the timeout with just 2 seconds remaining and hold a slim lead, 6-5 at halftime. Certainly worth the price of admission so far here in Exeter.
Well, yeah, and we thought that the way that things had started there, 3 straight goals by BG, timeout by Bedford to kind of stop the bleeding there early on. And, Bedford fought their way back, and BG gets one to go into the locker room and feel good about themselves.
Coming up, full recap of that first half, stats, highlights, and analysis, plus a preview of Pinkerton and Exeter, the other D1 semifinal. All that coming up next. You are watching live coverage of the 2025 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I semifinals. Here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, we are broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Halftime here in Exeter, and we've got a good one brewing here in this 2025 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I semifinal. Defending champion Bishop Guertin with a 6-5 lead over Bedford, both vying for a chance to grab the crown on Saturday night. And we'll have coverage of that Division I championship game beginning at 7 o'clock. Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe. Well, things seemingly aligned in the Cardinals' favor very early. As BG scores 3 in a row in the first 3.5 minutes. Cam Hayden, Hudson Schmidt, and Bo Dubois in that order forced an early Bedford timeout from head coach Steve Gaudreau, but the Bulldogs responded. Defense came alive, kept the Cardinals off the board for the next 14 minutes, and went on a 4-0 scoring run of their own. Luke Purnell, Teddy LaPointe, 3-2 our score after one quarter. John Purnell and Brody Helton kept the party going for Bedford early in the second, as the Bulldogs held a 4-3 lead. BG woke back up. Michael Ponto and then Hayden second put the Cardinals back in front, although that lead only lasted for 8 seconds. As Dylan Riccio won the face-off and went down and scored to tie the game at 5. But then 2 seconds remaining on a 20-yard shot for Ponto puts BG back in front 6-5 as we get set for this third quarter.
Yeah, we could be tied right now, except for that last goal, as you just mentioned. As far as Bedford is concerned, they just need to minimize the mistakes. They've got to calm down a little bit. The mistakes that they have made have cost them, especially on the EMO opportunities that they have had, where they have either lost the ball on the ground or they have thrown it out of bounds. So they need to clean that up, because when you get advantages on an EMO handed to you by the Cardinals, which is unlike them with 3 penalties in that first half, you must capitalize on at least one of those. If they can start doing that, that's great. Conversely, Bishop Guertin's got to stay out of the box. Even though it didn't hurt them, it's only a matter of time before Matthews and Helton wake up, not only on a 6-on-6 situation, but on the EMO. So they've got to calm themselves down and stay out of the box as well. Other than that, more movement by the Cardinals on offense to try and break that zone open, to confuse the Bulldogs. And as far as the Bulldogs offensively, keep doing what you're doing, but you got to find a way to get Helton and Matthews in this game. 5 different goal scorers for the Bedford Bulldogs is not going to do it.
Some of the first half statistics, all unofficial, of course. Cardinals via the senior Pablo Vasquez winning 10 of the 12 at X in that first half. Ethan Kahn providing a boost for Bedford with 7 saves in the net, 3 on the other side for his counterpart, BG's Jonah Feliciano. Vasquez picking up where he left off, another face-off win. He's going to trot off the field here as the attack gets set for Bishop Guertin. Cardinals hoping to double their advantage early in this third quarter.
Yeah, watch for some very long possessions by the Cardinals here to try and wear this zone down a little bit. Oh, pick.
But this kid has played well. That's the junior Trevor Abendroth. Able to pick that one off with the long pole. That's going to spark a little bit of a break here for Bedford. John Purnell elects to slow it down behind cage. As now the Bulldog attack, hoping to tie the game. Matthews. Pass a little short, trying to find Capello. Ball ends up on the ground, scooped up by Bedford in the corner. So the Bulldogs do keep it.
So stuff like that, these little dinky mistakes that get you out of your flow and your rhythm on offense. You know, you had transition guys coming in on the field there.
Helton, a step-down shot.
I think Feliciano got a piece of that.
Yeah.
Went the other way. I don't know if that's quite a save when it goes over the net like that, but
And while John Purnell goes low, Feliciano goes to the ground on the stop. Ball is going to roll near side. Gupta has it for Bedford.
Run. That's why you run.
Trying to avoid Zeman, but Zeman is right there. Helton comes in with a hit, and the ball out of bounds to Bedford.
Here we go. That's what they need.
Been a physical game, as expected. And we see a lot of body contact here for the first minute and a half of the third quarter. Now Matthews looks to get the jump to his right and is stripped from behind. It's a good play by the long pole McLeod. Cardinals scoop up the ground ball. Dunsmore trying to find some room. Avoids a hit. He's got a man down the middle, but the pass rolls all the way to Ponto. Finishes it off. Well, an errant pass ends up in BG's favor. Ponto, right place, right time, scoops it up and fires for his third goal of the game. Cardinals double the lead to 7-5.
So Bedford does just about everything right on this clear and ride situation. They bottle it up on the sidelines, and it dribbles through on a bad pass, and Ponto capitalizes. Good play by the Cardinals there to take advantage.
And a pretty smooth motion there on the ground ball capture. And then shot release by Ponto. He's now the game's leading scorer with 3. Meanwhile, the third face-off win for Bedford's Dylan Riccio is going to give the Bulldogs a chance to come up with an answer here. With now 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter.
And they need to settle down. They need to settle down.
And they will do so here as Capello comes to a walk.
And they're just about face guarding Helton and Matthews here.
Helton's going to spring open to catch the pass. Going to backtrack to midfield. Just in front of our camera operator, Matt Beals. He's going to hit the gas now, get inside one defender, fire on his way to the ground. A low offering that ends up out of play, but is backed up by Bedford's Luke Purnell. Purnell wasting no time on the restart. Takes on Steinbruick, the defender. Off the switch, Guerrera trying to pick up Purnell now. Brody gets inside. Helton's shot is stopped low. Feliciano coming alive here in net for BG. 3 saves unofficially in that first half. Already a pair so far through the first 3 minutes since halftime.
And that was his best save of the game. He was in traffic, didn't have a lot of sight on that, and stayed low with Helton's shot.
Well, Dubois gets the clear for BG. And he's given room now. First-year head coach Brian Cameron going to continue to shuffle the cards as Cam Hayden trots onto the field. Now deep behind the cage. BG with a 7-5 lead, 3.5 gone by, third quarter. BG has not lost to an in-state opponent since the 2019 state championship game. Step down, wide. Was that wide, or did Kahn get a piece?
I did not see Kahn get a piece of that, no.
Looked like it was wide. Either way, BG with a backup. And now back on the attack. One-on-one for Dubois up top. The defender is John Purnell for Bedford.
That's not a good match for the Bulldogs.
Slide comes over. That frees up McGarry's shot from the wing is kicked away by Kahn.
They're going to find a way to get John off the field. John's an attackman. He got caught up with that clear.
Up top it goes. Hayden to his left. That shot a little wide as well.
Watch the Cardinals key in on the center spot. Now they put Hayden right on John Purnell. So watch this rotation through.
Hayden gets it up top.
Right here.
Coming downhill to his left. Swooping shot. Kahn is ready. Knee-high save, his 9th of the game. Let's get the Bulldog fans fired up. Now John Purnell's going to squirt the ball over midfield. Another successful clear for Bedford. And both teams have handled the opposing ride pretty well so far.
Yeah,
they're nearly 5 minutes in, third quarter.
Yeah, unofficial 8 for 10 for Bedford total for the game.
Yep.
7 for 9 for the Cardinals. So pretty close.
Yep. Meanwhile, absorbing a number of hits as Luke Purnell frees up his teammate.
Finds him.
Gupta goes back door. The low offering was jammed on the turf and never got off. And now BG's Avery Whitehead, senior, headed to Lake Forest. Another long pole. We get a whistle on the Whitehead pass, and a timeout does come from the sideline.
Interesting.
So Coach Cameron electing to use the first of his 2 timeouts. Just over 5 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
Yeah, not quite sure why, but
We saw something out there on the clear.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers weren't too far off. I mean, this angle's not going to give us much, but maybe he felt like he was going to be moving out of bounds before that pass went up to the center of the field. But
there was a double team in the area as well, so playing it cautiously perhaps, but the timeout comes here.
Yeah, here we go.
As we get another look.
So Gupta gives him, could have been a call there, but it would have been a brush. Slash. Yeah, I'm not sure. He wasn't by the sideline, just a little bit of pressure, but I mean, a little bit of pressure against the Cardinals doesn't mean a whole lot.
Of course, Brian, a former BG graduate, a member of 2 state championship teams, an All-American at the high school level, and now a professional as well after a successful NCAA career at both North Carolina and Rutgers. Took over for his father, longtime head coach Chris Cameron, who has a state record 13 championships to his credit. And, of course, Chris still hanging around as an assistant down on the sideline again tonight. All right, Bishop Guertin out of the timeout, looking to increase their 2-goal advantage. Cardinal defense has kept Bedford off the board so far in this second half. The attack has produced 1 goal so far in this third quarter. Shot, score. A pretty dodge on that far side. That's Dubois again. Scored in the first quarter. He scores again here in the third to increase the Cardinal lead to 8-5.
So again, a little bit more movement here. So you got the stretch. And they beat that far side zone defenseman. So that's been effective for them. If they've been challenged at all on the wings and they've tried to dodge around it, that has been the zone breaker for them.
And perhaps that was drawn up there in the huddle.
It could have been.
Yeah.
It looked more like a motion that they would be changing their offense, but here's a violation on Bedford.
Another win for BG. Vasquez continuing to provide his usual advantage at the X. 3-goal lead for the Cardinals. That matches their largest lead from early on in the game. As we hit the midway point of this third quarter. Looking to make it a 4-goal lead for the first time. Around the horn it goes. Bedford stays in the zone. Redfern, the freshman, will cycle it near side. Jeremy Warren with a touch. Back for Redfern. Owen King. Everybody getting involved here. It's been that patient approach that has worked for the Cardinals all season.
Pretty much what you have to do against a zone. Be patient, keep the ball moving, try to find a body out of position, find the seam.
McGarry from the wing thought about it. Good closeout, shut down the shooting lane by Bedford's Brian Riccio.
They pretty much stayed in this same 1-3-2 set, too. Occasional 1-4. Bringing new bodies out, bringing the big gun.
Here comes Hayden. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. The winner goes on to play in Saturday's state championship, where they'll face the winner of our other semifinal, which comes your way tonight between Pinkerton and Exeter.
Nice little rotation there by the Cardinals. Do it on this side now.
The defender, Abendroth, going to force the issue on Dubois. Pass, a bouncer controlled by McGarry.
Back in that 1-4, Nick.
Here's Schmidt up top. And the rotation continues here. Up top it comes, Schmidt. No, that's Dubois on a spin shot and a save by Kahn.
So you can see them trying to develop that opening at the top in that 1-4 again. It worked. Kahn rose to the occasion, though. Good clear here by Bedford.
Yep, LaPointe unchallenged down the middle. Sets up Matthews, looking for the step. Trying to shake off McLeod. McLeod, pesky. Slide comes over, ball comes out. McLeod trying to capture for BG. Ball squirts towards the net. Feliciano is there. Long outlet pass. Ends up with a behind-the-back feed here for Duaney. Duaney trying to lead the troops toward the cage. Tough angle shot and score. It's Michael Ponto again. 2 goals in the first half, 2 more in the third quarter. As the senior Michael Ponto, an RPI commit, has the Cardinals flying high here late in the third quarter. It's 9-5, and now Bedford wants to talk it over. Timeout. Coach Gaudreau hoping to stop the bleeding here as BG has opened up their largest lead.
This is just good lacrosse from the Cardinals. Move that ball up the field. This is what I'd like to see Kahn do a little bit more of. Feliciano makes a great save, gets it upfield quickly. A little bit of a mishap there at midfield on the clear, but it comes right up to the Cardinals because they're on top of things. And bang, they're banging it down to the goalie's right-hand side quickly. Bang, bang, tic-tac-toe, 2 passes.
And we get a look there. That ball unintentionally sprayed towards the BG net. Feliciano's all over it. There's that long outlet pass that sparks the break. King finds Duaney. And then the assist. A tough shot.
Tough angle,
Tough angle for Ponto. Didn't matter. Goal line extended or not. Ponto now the game's leading scorer with 4.
4, yeah. The kid, I don't think we mentioned his name in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden he explodes here in this last 2 quarters. But, yeah, good timeout by Bedford. Got to stop the bleeding here. Regroup. Boy, they are really, the Cardinals are really playing tough on the 2 top Bulldogs out there, Helton and Matthews. They're just smothering Bennett. He cannot get his hands free. Every time he does extend his arms out and he's ready to follow through, they've got a good trail check there, or they're getting a late check on his hands and he's shooting errantly. Helton has been smothered and taken to the ground several times. They need to find a way to get them open.
Helton does have 1 goal to his credit. But to your point, the 2 stars for Bedford have been, for the most part, neutralized here by this BG defense.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Helton's got 2 points. He's 1-1, as you said, with the goal. And Matthews has been held scoreless. He's not on the scorecard at all.
Meanwhile, Vasquez continues to do his thing at the X. He's built up now a 13-3 unofficial advantage on the faceoffs. Cardinals going to try their luck with 2 players behind the cage here as they look to open up a 5-goal spread for the first time. We're inside of 3 minutes to go third quarter. Double team here near wing. Ball out and take it away. That's Bedford's Brian Riccio. A good defensive effort. And his younger brother Dylan is going to escort the ball over midfield. Here come the Bulldogs. That's a good
Look at
takeaway.
Matthews wide open.
There he is.
Oh, he throws it away.
The pass is off target. And now the Cardinals with numbers. A 4-on-3. Ponto wants it himself. Kahn says no way. Save number 11 for the junior. Long outlet pass. Up for grabs. Capello in the area for Bedford, but it's tipped and controlled by McLeod. Good play by the long pole for PG. And then a bouncer frees up Dunsmore. BG wanted a penalty. Will settle for a shot instead that rings wide. Step down effort there by Hayden. And a good job again by Riccio. Not Riccio, rather, but Frongillo.
Yeah.
Able to position himself to award Bedford the possession.
But again, Bennett Matthews wide open, and they throw the ball away.
Some of those unforced errors starting to haunt Bedford.
Terrible.
They will, however, come up with another successful clear. A scoop pass. Frees up Luke Purnell. Finds John Purnell on the near side. The 2 Purnells play catch behind the net. Final 100 seconds, third quarter. Largest lead on the board for BG. They played with the lead most of the game. Jumped out 3-0 early. Here's Matthews. Shot. A submarine release there. Goes low to high, but out of play.
Yeah, that was Brody. And again, he got trail checked and almost didn't get that shot off at all. Good save.
There's a wraparound shot by Luke Purnell. Feliciano all over it. Now a half dozen saves for the junior goaltender. Meanwhile, contact on the sideline. Ball squirts back to the middle. McLeod is there for the Cardinals. Short pass, gets it over midfield as Dubois takes over. Final minute, third quarter. It's been a big quarter for BG. They've kept Bedford off the board, and they've added 3 goals to their lead.
Yeah. Nothing for Bedford here.
Threatening for another here. Coach Cameron says slow it down, and the Cardinals comply. Trying to take some air out of the ball, so to speak, as we move towards 40 seconds to go. Ponto playing keep away behind the cage. The defender Brian Riccio hacking away with that long pole. Ponto going to spin, going to hit the gas. Looks for a step, shot there is a little high. Draws a few oohs and ahs out of this BG crowd with 25 seconds to go.
Yeah, Bedford looking for a turnover here. They've got both Helton and Matthews out there on defense.
Matthews, the defender here, going to close the gap against Dubois. Dubois trying to lure him out to no man's land. Dubois, a spin move, down to 10 seconds. Pass taken near side. McGarry's shot won't get through. Ball on the ground. And still on the turf, Riccio goes over the shoulder to get it out of harm's way, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. The Cardinals capitalize. 3 more goals that keep Bedford off the score sheet, and their 1-goal lead becomes 4 as we head to the fourth quarter. Does BG cross the finish line and punch their ticket to another state championship, or does Bedford have a comeback in the cards? We find out next. You are watching the 2025 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I Semifinals. Here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, we're broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Exeter. Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe. Bishop Guertin with a 9-5 lead over Bedford, the 4-time defending Division I champs, hoping for another championship appearance with a win here tonight. They have played with the lead most of the game, jumped out in front 3-0. Bedford came back in that second quarter to make it a 1-goal difference at halftime, but BG with a 3-0 affair in that third quarter. Now with, well, I wouldn't say commanding, but a somewhat comfortable 9-5 lead to begin the fourth quarter.
Comfortable is what I would use as well. They're not used to being 4 goals up. Usually it's a lot more by the fourth quarter, and they're getting ready to go deep into the bench. So, same thing applies as it did at the start of the third. Bedford's got to, clean up the mistakes, and they've got to capitalize on every possession to make this thing a closer game. And BG is getting what they need out of Feliciano. He had 4 really important stops in that third quarter.
Unofficially 6 saves for the BG junior. His counterpart Ethan Kahn with 11 for Bedford. Meanwhile, Pablo Vasquez continues to dominate at the face-off X. He's won 14 of the 17 unofficially, and has given BG a big time of possession advantage as a result.
Yeah, he has taken every face-off for the Cardinals today, and I think Teddy LaPointe has only taken 1, and Dylan has done the rest for the Bulldogs.
So the fourth quarter begins with the Cardinals back on the attack, hoping to open up a 5-goal lead for the first time.
And I believe Teddy had to take that face-off because Dylan had a violation, so he was not allowed to take that second or that next face-off. So Dylan would have been out there for all of theirs.
Here's a pass up top. Schmidt closed out well by Dylan Riccio. Now Hayden going to backtrack and hit the reset button here for the Cardinals. Minute gone by, fourth quarter.
Well, I like this little wrinkle here with the post up top. There it is. Ooh.
Again closed out. Now Hayden gets inside the defender, offers one on the run, but it sails high. It's backed up by Ponto and will stay with the Cardinals.
I think Cam needs to start mixing things up again. He's been trying to hit that far high post area and not seeing success.
Well, a sweeping shot from Ponto. Got the step there on the defender. But again, it ends up wide, not a play.
Going to shake it up again here, Nick. Going to bring DuBois out. Watch for Cam Hayden again to come up high.
Meanwhile, King operating with his back to the cage. Finds DuBois on the wing, who immediately goes back to Ponto. Little fake pass. It's Hayden this time. DuBois from the point. Shot and score. Well, that one difficult to track as it came in down by the ankle. High to low to make it 10-5 as the Cardinals doubling up Bedford. Now with 2 minutes gone by in the fourth.
Yeah, and I honestly think Ethan Kahn really thought that Cam Hayden was going to let one rip right over the defender's head there. And he just kind of lost sight of the backside of the field. And next thing you know, Cam's giving it up to DuBois. And what's that, his third goal, I think?
DuBois had one goal in the first quarter.
Another one in the third.
And that one right there gives him a hat trick.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, win number 15 at the X for Vasquez gives BG an opportunity to keep things rolling. Of course, this game was tied at 5 in the closing seconds before halftime. Ponto had an almost impossibly deep shot that rang the bell with 2 seconds to go. And that has sparked this current run, Roger, which is now stretched to 5 unanswered.
Yeah, and when Dylan Riccio scored that goal off the face-off, that was when the Bedford Bulldogs had momentum going their way, and the Cardinals, like so many times, just shut that down immediately, and then that goal with 2 seconds was a killer.
Yep. Meanwhile, here's a save from Kahn. That ball is loose, but Kahn stamps out the fire in front of the cage.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Save number 12, a risky pass. It is taken in. And now Matthews trying to swim upstream, gets past midfield, directing traffic with the offhand. To his right, going to slow down, almost lost his balance, spins away from Redfern. And now Bedford will indeed look to set something up.
There it is.
Off
He's
the
open.
Pick. Matthews shot wide. Pretty good screen offered there by Helton. But Matthews off target on that shot.
Yeah, and those two work so well together, and they haven't really had an opportunity to really work the midfield that way.
Now John Purnell going to dance up top. That's for Luke, who drops it. Ball loose. Steinbruick is there for BG.
Out of bounds.
The long pole, though, tried to split dodge, lost it on that baseline. And it will stay at this end in the end with Bedford.
Yeah, and again, going back to that pick by Helton, that is where they've seen a lot of success out there with those two-man games. And just not a lot of that happening for them today. Oh,
now Helton over the shoulder. Tough offering there. Ball out of bounds, foot race to the near sideline results in a Bedford victory.
Watch the Bulldogs. They like to see this wing play come out, and they're going to back everybody out. Yep, and going to post up here for Helton.
Now Matthews, little jab step.
Oh, hit a body.
Tough shot, yeah, won't get through. Steinbruick is there again for BG. Loose ball, and Steinbruick captures it. He's played well in this second half. Meanwhile, Feliciano, another long bouncing outlet pass, hooks up with Dunsmore. Dunsmore trying to find the long pole McLeod in the middle of the field. Now a shot from Ponto. Not sure if that was kicked away by Kahn or not. Ball ricochets out of bounds, and Bedford wins the foot race.
Hit Boyd in the leg.
Did it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, hit Colby.
4 minutes in, fourth quarter. Bedford with work to do. The clock's starting to become an issue.
No help here by the Bulldogs.
Gupta,
no help.
On his own, absorbs a check from King. Fires a long cross-field pass that ends up out of bounds. And there's that Cardinal ride, which has been formidable all season, coming into effect here.
Listen, I can't give him credit for that, Nick. There was no help by the Bulldogs.
Ponto wide open down the middle. It's going to cash in transition, and the Cardinals' lead continues to grow. It's now 11-5.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens so many times in this game of lacrosse. You give up the ball, quick whistle, the Cards are all over this, and there's just no help coming back. But that clear, you could see when Gupta had that ball in his stick that all of his teammates were on the offensive side of the field, way down low. There wasn't anybody within 30 yards of Gupta on that.
Vasquez, another clean win at the X. Meanwhile, for Michael Ponto, Roger, that was goal number 5.
Yeah.
Which I believe matches his total from last year's championship game.
Sure does, sir. Sure does.
So some deja vu for the Bedford defense, and not in a good way.
Yeah, the other predominant Cardinal that scored a lot in that game was Owen King with 4, and he hasn't been on the board at all.
He's looked to get others involved in this game, and really all season as well.
Yeah, he's out there now, but we haven't really called his name that much.
Hayden. Step, shot, high, and another collision. As Helton and Hayden, they've been at each other's throats really all game.
And that's a good match for both. Good match for me.
Hayden's limping a bit.
Yeah. That little topple, I think. When Brody Helton falls on you, you got to feel something.
He's a grown man for sure. One of the best two-way football players in the state. Meanwhile.
Yeah, he's hurt now. He's coming off the field now.
Yeah, he's going to limp his way to the home sideline as we head toward the midway point of this fourth quarter. The freshman Redfern takes his place as the Cardinals look to slow things down here on the attack. Nursing an 11-5 lead. And Roger, the combination of Vasquez, these lengthy possessions, and the play of Feliciano has kept Bedford off the board since halftime.
Yeah, you get to the fourth quarter with the Cardinals and you're not making up ground from an absent goal third period. Now it's all about game management, and this coaching staff knows all about that.
Meanwhile, King harassed by Boyd. Boyd comes away with a takeaway. Frangillo's pass, a little behind Matthews, but he pulls it in anyway. Not Matthews, rather, but Helton, and Helton goes across midfield uncontested. Helton thinking shot here, swallowed up. Feliciano ready for that one. Save number 7 for the BG junior. Long outlet. Another break here for the Cardinals. Behind the cage it goes. The trailer is Schmidt. He goes over the shoulder, and that ball rolls into the goal.
We're going to get it? Yes, they are.
Highlight style for Hunter Schmidt. Hudson Schmidt. That's his first goal since the first quarter. Doubles his total to 2, and the BG train continues to roll.
Again, transition. Mistakes made by the Bulldogs coming back. Nobody's covering. Can't blame that one on Kahn. He hugged the post. He didn't get over there. Yeah, he was right there. Just a good shot there by Schmidt.
Kind of dribbled in through the 5-hole.
Yeah.
So it's all smiles on the Cardinal sideline right now. Their student section, which is draped in white. They've been very loud throughout the game and have plenty to cheer for now. BG had not lost against an in-state opponent since they fell to Pinkerton in Coach Brian O'Reilly's final game back in 2019. That was the state championship. It was also played on this field. Of course, we didn't have a season in 2020 due to the COVID-19 situation. But since then, the Cardinals have dominated New Hampshire opponents. And it looks like, still 5 minutes to go here, but perhaps on their way to another championship appearance come Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not sure what that outcome of the second game is going to be, obviously, but
Pinkerton Exeter coming up next here. 7:15, the approximate start here Eastern time.
Yeah, Exeter getting a little bit of a scare the other day, playing Merrimack in their quarterfinal game, and pulling that one out 10-7.
Coach Miller's Tomahawks certainly gave a max effort there.
Yeah, for sure. Here he is. Perhaps in the running for Coach of the Year. And
seems like we say that every year.
Yeah. Well, every year he gets better. He gets his teams better.
Right.
You know.
Merrimack had a big out-of-state win early in the season. And
played Pinkerton close, 7-6 early on this season.
It's a program on the rise for sure. Meanwhile, King, I think he wanted that one on a turnaround shot. Sailed a bit wide, a couple inches north of that crossbar. But again, the Cardinals in position to back it up. Clock ticking. We're now inside of 4 minutes. On a rush to the cage, Kahn going to swat that shot. That was the Cardinals' Liam Connerty, senior attackman headed to Keene State, getting some action here in the fourth quarter. Kahn increases his save total to 13. Meanwhile, Helton going to lower the shoulder. He's met by Andrew Redfern. And now Matthews wants a one-on-one. Showing a little bit of speed here. Defender, though, staying on the hip. Gets inside of one. Takes a hit from two. Spins away from three. Goes over the shoulder. Rebound denied. Feliciano back-to-back saves to keep Bedford off the board. And now a great effort by Steinbrueck on the clear. Cardinals have numbers. Coach Cameron may want to slow it down. And he's going to call a timeout.
No,
or is he not? We have a whistle either way and a stoppage with 3:09 to go.
No timeout.
Do we have a warning here?
This is from the box official.
Yeah. That's Michael Peterson, who's engaged in a intense conversation with the Bedford sideline.
Yeah, but it was a violation on BG, so Bedford ball.
Yep, they're going to clear it. And now get to work here with inside of 3 minutes to go. 7-goal lead on the board for the Cardinals. This was a 1-goal difference at halftime. Luke Purnell. Make that John Purnell on a bouncer. It's backed up by Luke and will stay with Bedford. Luke wasting little time, triple teamed. Trying to find an open man. Pass goes off the chest of the receiver. The ball is loose out in front of the crease and eventually captured by Feliciano.
Right on the doorstep.
Feliciano out of the cage and on the run. The junior looking to clear it himself. Now will get a timeout from Coach Cameron.
That is probably the best timeout you can call at this point in the season. You do not want your starting goaltender getting injured going into the final game of the season.
Especially with the big hitter, Brody Helton, lurking in the area.
Not only lurking, but being right there on the doorstep. Yep, you cannot afford that.
Reminder, coming up, we'll have the second part of our semifinal doubleheader. Top seed Pinkerton versus, well, I guess, the unofficial home team in Exeter. It's certainly a neutral site, but as we know, Bilball Stadium home to the Blue Hawks.
All those years early on with the BG Cardinals and them winning so many championships at Stellos and the uproar we would hear about BG getting to play a home game in the finals, and here we are. Logistically, we hear a lot about it. I'm kind of in touch with what's going on out there with NHIAA, and I mean, we've talked about it for the last 10 days. How the weather has affected not just this sport, but baseball and softball, and NHIAA takes a hit on a lot of things. But I got to tell you, being on these press releases from the folks up there and seeing what they do at least twice a day we're getting updates, and they have a lot to deal with.
Tell you what, it's a thankless job, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, when it all does go smoothly, they don't hear a word of praise. So hats off to the folks over at the NHIAA scheduling another great event here at Bilball Stadium.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it earlier. We're going to be able to broadcast 2 of the 3 finals on Saturday because of the scheduling that they were able to accommodate.
Final 2 minutes. BG looking to run out the clock. There's a flag on the play. It's thrown by the trail official. The crowd is certainly fired up. Meanwhile, Andrew Redfern takes a spill, and that will bring up the stoppage as words are exchanged between players. This one has turned a bit chippy here in the fourth quarter with $1:52 to go.
No, we're going to get offsides with Luke Purnell here.
So after all that, just an offsides call.
Yeah, could have been. Well, it could have been a push too. There, at the very end there, or a cross check. So yeah, Bulldogs get away easy on this one.
That's the first Bedford penalty of the game. We saw 3 called against the Cardinals in the first half.
Yes.
So the first EMO for Bishop Guertin comes with the final 100 seconds yet to be played.
And don't think the Cardinals don't want to put this in the net. Oh, good play. Who's that, Teddy?
Yep.
That's our boy Teddy.
Freshman LaPointe got a piece. Ground ball captured by Boyd. Boyd is ridden from behind by Hayden. And another whistle will secure a Bedford possession.
Yeah, that was a good call there by the officials. It was a hold. He chicken winged Boyd, held him up.
Officials done a good job today.
Yeah, it's been a pretty easy game to officiate, quite frankly.
Meanwhile, Matthews.
Look at the pursuit, Nick.
Yep.
He has not had a chance to do much of anything today.
Certainly that was the game plan from Coach Cameron and staff to limit Matthews, and it's worked out for the Cardinals.
And they did it during the season as well.
Meanwhile, another whistle stops the clock with just over a minute to go.
They're going to give him a free clear here? No, it's coming back. Okay. Just when you think you got this game down, you don't.
Yeah, not quite sure what the call is here. It's going to stay with Bedford, we know that.
Yeah, and they're getting it on that far side.
So one more opportunity to score for the Bulldogs, but it appears like they're just about out of time, trailing 12-5 here with now 50 seconds to go.
Oh,
Helton trying to power his way to the cage, took a shot after the release. That, if it stands, will be the first goal since halftime for Bedford.
Yeah, and
it's a cross-check against the Cardinals. The goal will count.
Yeah, this should be against number 8.
That was an even-strength goal as the Bulldogs had successfully killed off the penalty.
Yeah, so at 44 seconds, we're going to get a minute penalty. And this should be no face-off because it happened right at the time of the goal. So
it's Helton's second goal of the game.
Yeah. So we're going to get who do we have in the box there? It's either 8 or 28. I'm not quite sure, Nick. Ryan Schneller, defensive senior. Oh, hit a body and hard.
Intercepted by Matthews. Up top for Helton, step down, shot sails high.
I'm sorry, 29, Nick. Jonas Guerrera.
Freshman in the box. Fourth EMO for Bedford, results in a goal. Helton on a step down. So 12-7. As Bedford scores their first EMO goal after going 0 for the previous 3 attempts.
Indeed.
But again, the clock is just about out of time. 22 seconds to go.
Yeah, too little, too late.
Back to even strength. Also a new face-off man for BG. That's the junior Samson Sand. Bedford wins it, and Capello cashes in. Evan Capello. So the Bulldogs not quitting here, but again, they're just about out of time, 12-8. Meanwhile, Roger, 3 goals in 30 seconds by Bedford has led to a BG timeout as Coach Cameron has seen enough.
Yeah, and he wants to close this thing out, and he,
doesn't want to see his lead decimated in the process, though.
Yeah, might be more of a, hey, they got a little chippy there. Bedford put themselves in the box. It got rough. Maybe more of a, let's just get a possession here and let's just get the heck out of here. But good play there by Riccio to get that ball down to Capello. And nice to see Evan score a goal here in the semifinal game as he is a senior. He's moving on to Bentley. Great career here at Bedford for Evan. I know my son, Matthew, who coached him for several years here, adores the kid, hard worker. And Matthew, who's coaching at St. A's, is going to be seeing him in the NE10 down the road. So
perhaps the best division in all of NCAA Division II, right? Best conference,
far. Yeah, by far. By far. The South can say what they like, but no, the talent's still up here.
Yep. All right. 12-8 here, 14 seconds to go. Vasquez is back in to finish the deal for BG.
Yeah, just run this out, Paulo. Get your boys home. Keep them busy.
Get some kind of a violation here along the sideline against the Cardinals.
Yes, keep it in the box. He ran into the box and ran out.
Oh, okay. Yep, you're right. Right there.
Yep. So
along the 30-yard line, just in front of the official.
Yep.
Matthews, long pass. It's going to sail out of bounds. And they're going to run off, or they won't run off, the final seconds. We have 0.7 remaining. So tamper the celebration for just a moment.
There it is.
And Feliciano will put the icing on the cake. That's going to do it. Dominant second half by Bishop Guertin. They blow open what was a one-goal game. A late spurt by Bedford in the final minute doesn't affect the outcome. 12-8 the final. BG back again into the championship round, where they will look to make it 5 straight Saturday night.
Yeah, dominant performance in the second half. Put a scare into the Cardinal locker room there at halftime. Bedford just needs a little bit more polish, it seems, every time they play the Cardinals, and they get to this point in the season. And sometimes they are just simply their own worst enemy. A lot of mistakes made by the Bulldogs that should not be happening for the quality of players that they have. But again, hand it to the Cardinals. They actually shut down this offense, with the exception of those last 3 goals that came bang, 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 but way too late in the game for Bedford to even recover.
Yeah, and again, BG, they stuck to the script, it seemed like. Game plan-wise, they wanted to limit Matthews, limit Helton. They accomplished that. Vasquez provided that usual advantage at the face-off X, and the offense was pretty crisp throughout all 4 quarters.
Yeah, and let's not forget about Feliciano.
Yes.
Yeah, he stepped up in that third quarter, and I got him down for 6 saves here in the second half, and they were big saves. I mean, there were one dribbler there that he handled quite well, but the Bedford team, when they put pressure on him, he came out with some big saves.
Yeah, including a couple of back-to-back stops in a chaos-filled situation. Yeah. So congratulations to Bishop Guertin, first-year head coach Brian Cameron, guiding the Cardinals back to the state championship, where they will play on Saturday night. The opponent is yet to be determined. That's what we're going to find out next, as Pinkerton and Exeter take the field. About a half hour from now, we'll bring you the live coverage right here on the NFHS Network. For our cast and crew here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, including our dual videographers, Kat Doyle and Matt Beals. Another great job tonight. Everything looked great. And, of course, the whole thing was orchestrated flawlessly, once again, by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, our own Ben Beals, the director, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For executive producer Steve Beals and my partner, Roger Howe, my name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time. Bishop Guertin 12, Bedford 8. This has been a presentation of the 2025 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I Semifinals, right here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, broadcasted in conjunction with the NFHS Network.